Okay, so what we're going to have a quick look at now is just getting the remaining two divs in. It should be fairly straightforward for most of you by now. I'm going to come over to my HTML page, and it's the usual process now. So I'm going to type in the name of the div I want to appear next. So div id equals, and we will call this menu. Div id equals menu. And close that off. And then we will obviously close that div too. Whilst I'm here, I might as well put in the next div, which is going to be the content one. So div id equals, we'll call it content, like so. Close it off, and then of course close off the actual div itself. So I've got my remaining two divs in now, menu and content. So I'll just nip over to my style sheet, and I'll just get a new line up. So we'll go for hashtag, we'll type in the menu one. In the style sheet, it doesn't matter what order this appears in. It does in here because these divs appear one after another: logo, header, menu, content. And this instruction here, float, is floating it to the left of the previous div. So it doesn't matter what order we put this in. I could have started off with the header CSS information right up at the top, but it does matter on the HTML page which order these divs come in. You have to think of going left to right across your screen. Okay, so menu, brace bracket open, brace bracket closed. Click back in the middle, float, left, semicolon. We'll give it width now of 100 pixels because that's the same width as the logo div that's directly above it. We'll give it a height. Now I've worked this out already. It's actually 470 pixels that we're going to need, because remember we're putting a 10 pixel margin all around it. 470 for the height. Margin top. There we go. 10 pixels. And then we need a margin left. Again, 10 pixels. And we'll give it a background colour. And I think again we will just put hashtag CCC in. Whoops, that's not hashtag. Hashtag CCC, and put a semicolon in, like so. File and save all. Always a good idea to save as you go along. Let's just see how that's looking if I refresh it. So you can see it's matching perfectly. It's 470 high, and if we were to add up the height of the margins, and there we find it makes 600. We just now need to work out how to get this in. Again, fairly straightforward. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to copy this just to save me a little bit of time, and then just go and change what I need to do. So this was called content. It's still going to float left. The width is going to be the same width as the header div above it. So in this case, we're going to make sure it's 830 pixels. The height is going to be the same height as the menu above it, so I don't need to change it. Margin top, margin left, background colour, that's all good. File, save all. Let's go and have a quick sneaky look at this. And there we go. So that's the basis now of our web page. We won't need to set this up again, because all we will do is do file, save as, and save subsequent pages for our page. Okay, so that is how we go and set up the basic 4 div layout.